Hello, my little love muffins. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day so far. And if not, I hope you guys will continue to get better in the coming days and weeks. Now, if you missed last week's video, my lovely fiance Brittany had told you guys that I was moving from Texas back to Mississippi to continue my education. And yes, I'm back in Mississippi. I made it safe and sound. Thank you guys so much for your prayers and well wishes. Unfortunately, I am currently moving things around in my apartment, and it's that, everything's kind of jumbled around and things are everywhere, and I still have to unpack a lot of things. So we're doing this again. So ever since I started coming back into the video making business, I've been on this steady rise in consistency and quality. While I don't think I've made anything super duper groundbreaking per se, it has been a vast improvement over the last couple of years, and today I want to highlight that. Now, originally, this was just going to be a clip show of, some of the greatest or funniest moments or most inspiring moments or, something like that. Just take a bunch of clips from old videos, munch them up all together, make an intro, make an outro, call it a day. But I wanted to do something a little different, so I thought it'd be fun if I just sat down and talked about them. Show some of my favorite moments, if there are any, in, some of these videos, and rate them out of 5 hearts. Also, just note I'm skipping update vlogs and little things like that because they don't count. But anyway, let me not delay any further. Let's take a trip down memory lane, where you should remember to like and subscribe. Now this was the first video from the second season of the LovelessGamer show, or LGS, as I like to abbreviate it. Now at this point, I had already made the decision that I wanted to go back to why I originally made videos, which was to talk about games, to talk about, the games that I like. And I moved away from that for a while because honestly, I was trying to become something I wasn't, this big news channel or someone who keeps up to date with the latest things, and no, that's not really who I am. So I moved away from that and I just went back to just making stuff that I could be proud of. I pride myself in making evergreen content, content that you can watch anytime and it'd still be enjoyable. Now, this is definitely my first major step in terms of storytelling and different camera angles and cinematography and all that good stuff. It's not a masterpiece. It's definitely very amateur. But I personally really loved the attempt I made. I mean, I wanted to tie everything from the previous years together. Make something interesting to award, the few people who actually watched this stuff. I mean, it's not going that well, admittedly, but, I'm still learning and, hopefully I can do something more with this and, make it better. This was definitely a very experimental video. It was interesting for me personally to, get back into making videos with something so avant-garde for me, I guess. But if I'm honest with you, it's not a great video to watch, if I'm being honest with you. There's a lot I really could have done better. It has good ideas and, overall it's short and it's sweet, but it's definitely one of the more forgettable videos I've made. I mean, people may not agree with the fact that I'm doing this, but at the end of the day, I'm doing what I like, and this is what I feel I'm called to do. Now, this was my true return to form. And funny enough, I actually had this video planned out for years, but I never actually finished it. I had the script made, I recorded the, voiceover, the visuals, the game, everything. I recorded everything, I just never took the time to edit it together. But, when I, decided to come back to reviewing, I decided, I don't want to just keep the humor that I had back in 2016, because some of those jokes were really cringy, and that stuff I would say now, not because they're necessarily bad or inappropriate, but it's it's clear that the way I tell jokes and the way I write stuff has definitely evolved from then versus now. So I decided to tighten up the script. I reshot all the footage, all of it. The only footage I really kept was some of the gameplay, but I replayed the first chapter because I wanted to get it out soon. And all of that came together to what I think is probably one of the best videos I ever made. Like, it is a personal representation of what I want to make on this channel. And it has a lot of really good jokes. She then proceeds to throw the money sack at me and just rides off into the distance on this old town road. It's gonna ride till I can't no more. Why won't you let me fight? You mean you don't know? It's because you're Shinjiro Tiger and not Ichiro Ogami. Yeah, I guess that's an answer. Oh, sorry, let me take this real quick. Hello? You lose if your character dies even when everyone else is full health, and you can easily resurrect them and turn later, but I guess not because everyone goes brain dead if you're not there to hold your head. Stop dying to Aggie, Joker! It's not that strong a move! This is also the first video where I tried to tie a moral into it. And, you know, I tried to make a couple through lines and, you know, try to make it to where I'm telling an overarching story, which, you know, I felt like I executed pretty well. Overall, this is a great video. This is definitely the kind of content I want to make on this channel. And I think this, you know, when I want to tell people, like, you know, I make videos, this will probably be one of the videos I show them that I feel like sums up what I want to do on this channel. Wow, Sonic sure has had a rough patch lately. While his 2D games will always remain a classic, the 3D games are a big old pile of oopsies. So, let's fast forward to a month, and we get this little parody skit I made. Now, the funny thing about this is actually the original intro to the Sonic Comics video I made that, you know, I'll talk about a little later. But I wanted to revise that video to make it better. I felt like some of my points in that video before, you know, the video that you see now were not well thought out, and I wanted to let it sit in the oven for a little bit longer. But I didn't want this intro to go to waste. So you got this. You remember guns? I do, because they're a mistake. For those of you who haven't watched it, the whole concept of the video is just me rattling off opinions. I've seen it almost every Sonic video I've said. Like, if you've seen a Sonic video, you've probably heard opinions like this, especially like during like the early 2010s. Overall, I think this is one of my best one-offs. I really wish it had gotten more attention, but at the same time, I get it's not exactly something I typically do. So it's like I understand, but I think it's a really solid video. It's just such a weird song, because when I think Sonic, I don't think gangsta flavor. And speaking of things I don't typically do, there's this video. So in addition to reviews, I tend to talk about stuff surrounding Sonic and, you know, Sonic news and all that. And honestly, that's my most popular videos out there. If you look at my videos and sort them by, you know, popularity, you'll see that me talking about Sonic stuff is easily the best in terms of performance. And this is also one of the few times I got a request to talk about something, which, you know, should let you know that if you have something you think I should cover, let me know. I'll definitely consider it. Anyway, you know, I compiled my notes in my phone, you know, during breaks I had from class, and I recorded it the very next day. And at first I was nervous because I was definitely mad about the movie. Like, I didn't really feel any excitement, but I didn't hate it either. And I didn't want to fake its, you know, excitement. I didn't want to try to be like, yeah, this movie's going to be poopy butt farts or whatever. But, you know, I decided, you know, I'm just going to stick to my feelings and just talk about it honestly. And I think I did a great job. I thought the video was overall pretty entertaining. There was definitely more of the rambling with notes than anything. But, you know, at this point, I kind of feel more, you know, I definitely feel comfortable doing that nowadays. But I think this shows me that I can do videos where I'm, you know, not on script. And that, you know, I should probably be a little more confident in my abilities. Like, because, you know, before I would always say, like, if I'm not reading a script word for word, then I'm awful. But, you know, nowadays, I feel like that's a little different. let's talk about the story. It's an origin story. This is an origin story. This is nothing else but an origin story. Even before I found out about the Baby Sonic thing, which I found out 5 minutes before actually recording this. How did I become off the loop of that? I don't know. But regardless, this is an origin story. Now, this video isn't without its flaws. The editing could have definitely been so much better. The framing of the shot is honestly very lazy. I have stuff in my hair. I didn't even bother to take it out and it annoys me to no end. My eyes couldn't stop focusing on it. And much to my horror, I didn't put any music in the background, which for me takes away a lot of the appeal for me. Like, I don't know why I did that, if I'm being honest. Probably out of laziness. I would guess out of laziness. That's more for personal preference. You don't need it personally. I mean, it's not even a personally for me. I prefer to have it, but you don't need it in order to make your video complete. But I would prefer it in my videos. So production-wise, it's definitely lacking. But content-wise, it's pretty solid. Introducing your host for the Loveless Cooking Hour, Gerald Loveless. Hey, how's it going? Now, this is funny because it turns out that my predictions and thoughts about the movie were pretty spot on, as my next video was me reviewing the movie. Now, just like I'm doing with this video, I decided I wanted to do something a little more different. So I reviewed the movie while cooking because I really had to meal prep for the week. So, I decided, let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Productivity, baby. Now, I thought this video was awful. Like, before I, sat down and actually watched it, I thought it was awful. Mainly because it didn't perform as well as I wanted it to. So, I thought it was terrible. But after watching it again, like, from start to finish, bro, I was tripping. This video is really good. Like, it's not fantastic. It's not one of my best, but it's pretty dang good. Come on. Yep, I definitely needed a bigger pot for that. But it was either pay for that or pay for my Sonic cup. Which one was I going to get? Jealous? I think what killed it for me was that I really didn't prepare for it much. And I also didn't know what to do with it. Like, I didn't really think about, how cooking versus talking about the movie. Like, I had notes, like, I was prepared in that aspect, and I knew what I was going to cook. But it's like I didn't really think about the framing. I didn't think about, camera angles and all that. Like, I definitely could have thought about it better. But to transition into the realms of positivity, I thought I covered the movie pretty well. I cooked well, and it was funny. Like, there was this gag, like this Final Fantasy gag that was super funny. That always works out. Oh, ah. That's right, it's oil, so it's gonna pop you occasionally. Popping it's not bad. Ah! Popping, ah! Jeez. Now it was through this video that I did the lower third thing to note what song is playing in the background, which, also led me to find a lot of great songs to use. I really do think if I, trimmed the fat, made it a lot more concise, if I gave a little more thought to what I was cooking versus what I'm saying, and, tightened up the editing a bit more, this would be a fantastic video. But as it is, it's still good. I'll definitely do something like this again in the future. Wink, wink.
You were cheating on her with other women. That's adultery.
No, it's not. It's fornication.
No, it's not. I'm suffering. So from here, we transition into this video. This video was really a spur of the moment. Like, I recorded it and edited this video in a day. And this is definitely my attempt at a commentary style video. Like, I really, like people like Drew Gooden, Danny Gonzalez, D'Angelo Wallace, Jarvis Johnson. And I guess when I had this moment, I thought this video would be a good idea. And I mean, it kind of was. I don't regret making it. It's like I've learned that doing quick, completely unscripted videos, like doing it to where I'm just talking off the top of my head and not having any notes, yeah, that's not me. Like, I feel like I was feeling myself too much because I did, good jobs, and I really liked the videos where I just had notes and I rambled on based on those notes. But doing one where I didn't have a script at all? No. Like, there's just so many missteps with the pacing. I felt my jokes could have been a lot better. There's a lot of things I felt could have been alleviated if I had notes or a script. But, I mean, with that said, it's not super awful. I think it's a decent video with some notable moments. Why you have to make excuses and make standards that don't apply to you but apply to other people. I'm upset. Also, I think biblically and ethically, I was on it. But if I'm honest, this isn't my funniest video. I really could have done a lot better. But I do like this style video, kind of. So I may try it again whenever I have a topic. I just need to tweak it a lot. But so far, I'm not really impressed. Seriously, what is up with these games insulting me lately? It's like a big old pandemic on my self-esteem. Yes, that is the best joke I could come up with. And I really hope it made you laugh, because now I gotta watch this pan again. Ooh, okay, now this video has a special place in my heart. Because for one, this is a video idea that I had for a long time. I always wanted to cover Wii Fit Plus. Ever since I started the channel, I knew I want to cover this game. Now, at first, I originally wanted to do a video montage, similar to a workout video. That's very silly and fun. I'd have my friends along, we'd play the games, and then, we just have some fun with it. But I clearly abandoned that idea, and I just decided to review the game proper. So I had started to do the challenge of tracking my weight loss and seeing if it's actually effective. But then, life happened. So the footage that I captured in the actual challenge took place in summer 2019, even though you guys didn't see this until summer 2020. And, at that point, life was really tough. I had a job. I was living paycheck to paycheck at the time because, my scholarship and student loan money had completely dried up. Then, I had my birthday, my fiance's birthday. I was graduating at the time. So, at the time, I just stopped doing the challenge and I stopped making the video. And, just to focus on not being homeless. But, thanks be to God, I never deleted my scripts or the footage that I captured. And I think I did a great job with what I had. I felt like this was definitely very creative of me of doing it the way that I did. And because of that, this is also probably one of my favorite videos. Like, if a Sakura Wars was a return to form, Wii Fit Plus was an expansion of it. Like, I tried different camera angles, shooting at more than one area of my apartment. I even tried telling a story of my journey with, transitions that, echoed the transitions in the game, and the overall background element of me cleaning my apartment and getting something to eat because I had no self-control in what I ate at the time. That said, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna get sick of me saying this, but I think I could have executed this a bit better. The editing is not nearly as tight as I would have liked, and some of the jokes go on for way too long. And again, I feel like I spend too much time on the intro that it takes away from the overall review. I kind of touch on that in my great recap of 2020 video, but this is definitely the video that comes to mind when I think about intros being too long. With that said, it probably has one of my favorite moments of improv. And this guy is pretty sturdy. He's able to precisely weigh up to 300 pounds and hold twice as much, which means this guy doesn't think I'm heavy. He's just being petty. Also, I hope you guys like the gag, because now I gotta get new glasses. Also, this was the video that made me realize that I'm pretty good at voiceover. Like, I feel like this is the video where I finally found my voice, so to speak. Like, a majority of the lines I said were executed really well. It'll measure how many reps you do, how well you can keep your center of balance within the yellow area, and whatever else they can think of. There's also hula hooping, which is a thing. For the rest of that session, I just tried some more presets while we're doing the warm-up preset because I likes it like that. But that's when I realized how hit or miss some of these exercises are. Overall, I think this is a great video. It's definitely worth putting as one of the highlights of the channel. And if that wasn't enough, they actually do something about the plot point about Tails feeling grief over Sonic's defeat in a way that actually makes me care. And it's actually a recurring thing that comes up throughout the series. It's almost as if this could have worked as a genuinely interesting plot point instead of being a big old pile of nothing. Alright, so next up on the docket is me talking about Sonic comics for 16 minutes. And you know, just like with the Wii Fit Plus, this is probably one of the highlights of my channel this year, at least performance-wise. Like, this video did so well that it's one of the few that broke 100 views. And I think it fully deserved them. Like I said when I talked about the every Sonic video ever skip video. This video has been in the oven for a while, and I wanted to script it out to make sure I did this topic justice. But I didn't like how I scripted it at the time, so, you know, I pulled back and allowed myself to, you know, off-script it whenever I wanted, using it more as a guide with notes. And, you know, I decided to take that intro and, you know, make it its own video. Just like, let me just release that. And I'll let this cook a little bit more. Base it, marinate it, all that good stuff. Now, in terms of, like, moments in the video, there aren't really that. Like, I love the running joke of me dunking on Sonic Forces. So in order for me to talk about this comic series proper, I'm going to have to spoil, gasp, Sonic Forces. Also, I like how, the screen in the background, I like how that turned out. That took a lot of time editing that over. And I'm just really happy that it came out so much better than I thought. And honestly, I felt like it was just a great way to use that empty space. Not to mention, the framing is so much better. And I felt like that elevated this video to be a standout. This is definitely one of the best Sonic videos I've made in 2020. And I'd love to make a video like this again. Sound is the most basic element of music, and we become aware of it when vibrating airwaves reach our ears. Writing this was 25% of my grade, and I got an A on this, mind you. So I mentioned before that, you know, one of the content creators I like watching is Jarvis Johnson, and I actually found his content in 2020. And one of the videos I saw was him talking about his computer science degree. And, you know, after thinking about that, I was like, you know what, let me make my own version, but, you know, with my music degree. You know, I thought it'd be a great way to make something more personal while also helping other people who might have questions about studying music. Overall, this video is average. Like, this is more informative than entertaining because, you know, the goal is to help people who wants to get a higher education in music so that they know what they're getting into. As long as you show up, do whatever your professor suggests, and practice regularly on your own time, you will be fine. And I said show up because it's very easy for you not to. I feel like it does its job and it does it well. And it's because of this video that, you know, I decided, you know what? I want to use my music degree more and analyze music. You know, analyze, you know, music in games and just, you know, be more willing to do more analytical stuff. So, you know, I'm grateful that this video helped me realize that. But as a video, it's average. Not good, but not bad either. Sometimes I ask myself, what am I doing here? I think of all the reasons, but it's still not clear. The first time I ever did a tier list. I noticed there were a bunch of videos this year that were more spur of the moment, and this is probably one of the worst ones from this year if it wasn't for the Preacher one. I mean, it's not to say that it was completely bad. Some of these moments are generally good. I'm just gonna play them in succession here. Next is for True Story. I think it's another one of those ending songs. We're gonna listen to that in a minute, but first, Freeze on here. Moving on. I think I kicked something. Oh, that is not good. I can't remember anything at all. I've been turning it all around. I'm sorry, oh so sorry. Is this what I have become? Wish I may, wish I might. But despite, having some funny moments, overall, it's just not that great. The intro was way too long. Like, there's some lit in my hair that I can't stop looking at. I don't know what's up with, having videos where there's lit in my hair that I don't pick out, but it annoys me to no end. And overall, and probably most offensively, I didn't have a lot to say. Like, I ended up cutting out a lot of the tier list because it was entertaining. Literally, the ones that I cut out were me saying, hey, that's pretty good. I'm gonna put this here. But then there were a few I cut because, what I said didn't make any sense. I didn't even understand what I was trying to say. Now, I've been thinking about releasing the extended cut of this, later this year during my break because it feels weird not having it there in full. Maybe I'd make a second channel or something for stuff like that. I don't know. But either way, this is not my best. If I do tier list again, and that's a big if, I definitely need to be a little more prepared and do a lot better in executing it. Overdrive is essentially modern Sonic levels and Sonic forces. Because it's a boost to win. I hope you like how I forced that joke, like how the game forced classic Sonic down our throats. Can you tell I'm still bitter about that? Because I kinda am. What is wrong with me? So, moving on from one of the worst videos I made this year to one of the best, we have the OnRush review. And I love this video so much. I love how it came out. Like, I always have fun making LGS videos, but this one was just so much fun to make. Like, I feel like this is the video where I finally became really comfortable being on camera, while being a bit looser with the voiceover. Like, there are lines here that were straight up not great, but, I decided to just, improvise it on the fly, and I felt like it ended up being funnier than I actually intended. Like, I felt the narrative I made around the video really works. The editing is a lot better, as you'll see in some of my favorite moments of the video. But it has a lot of obstacles, paths, jumps, and turns that keep you on your toes, while giving you plenty of opportunities to introduce that guy to that cliffside over yonder. But this is definitely where my team screwed me the most, because nobody tells Fade Boys what to do. From my understanding, the whole point of drifting in general is to make sharp turns without losing speed. So how come Overwatch missed the memo? I meant OnRush. How come OnRush missed the memo? Most of these abilities are supposed to promote the real superpower of teamwork. Except working together hardly matters. Now, if you're watching this, I know it could come off like I'm really down on myself, and I want to continue to get better. But genuinely, this is a great video. Easily one of my best, in my opinion.
Welcome to the LovelessGamer Show, where every game deserves a minimum. Tis the season to be scary.
Oh, God. Oh, I think I coughed up a lung with that one. Ugh. Now, fun fact, I've had this idea ever since I started this channel over 5 years ago. So I'm beyond happy that I'm finally able to get it off my plate. And I think I executed this pretty well, all things considered. I mean, from beginning to end, this is such an entertaining ride. Like, I loved being able to tie my faith and my childhood into it. I loved, dressing up as a shepherd. I even got to, use this Wario plush I won at a claw machine, I think. I don't really remember, to be honest. But I got a chance to use it as a plot point. And I really feel some of the best moments in this video were more in the voiceover. This is probably my best video in terms of voiceover so far. Like, I really feel like I found my voice now. And how I allow myself to ramble, it's amazing. It's just, I think it's amazing. Like, I even added a timely reference, which was very neat. Like, just look at some of these moments. We fall down, but we get back up again. Now, I have heard throughout the internet that this mechanic is pretty useless. And that's because it is. But don't fret, Love Muffins, because you can move the camera wherever you want. Oh boy, that's so... Now, I also experimented super hard in this video, like with the camera angles, multiple shots, and all that. Like this knife shot right here took me a while to get right. And I'm happy with how it turned out. Like, of course it can be better, but you never get better until you try. And I definitely want to try more things like this in the future. Also, the ending scene was definitely another experiment I wanted to try. And honestly, I like it. I may refine it a little bit. I'll most likely commission it into an asset of sorts that I can edit as I, make videos. So that's definitely something that's cooking in the oven. And while I think there are a lot of editing mistakes, and the on-camera acting could have been better, definitely could have been better, I'm really proud of myself for doing this idea justice. I really like it, and I hope it definitely becomes one of my staples for me. Sonic Mega Collection Plus, my first exposure to the blue blur, is actually, guess what? The 18th game compilation to feature Sonic in some way, shape, or form. And what is 18 divisible by? That's right, 3! Also, did you know that Sonic Mega Collection Plus is actually the 9th game compilation to actually feature Sonic as the main focus? I am sick! This is definitely a video I made on a whim. And it's definitely one of the best ones I've made on a whim. Like, literally, I was cleaning my game shelf when I realized that I own a lot of threequels, or, the third installment of a game franchise. And, after just letting my mind just go, I ended up laughing at how easily I could relate the games I had back to the number 3. So I just decided to go with it and make a video about it. Like, I took a week just writing down every connection of 3 I could find based only on the games I knew about. And it was fun how well I could twist anything to make it related back to the number 3. And then, I thought about this chart idea, and I went to Walmart, bought a bunch of yarn and index cards, and I just started writing. That was the most I've ever put into a prompt. So much so that it's still on my wall. I haven't taken the time to take it down yet. I just covered it up with the poster. So, out of sight, out of mind. I felt like this was a great way for me to stretch my on-camera acting skills. I feel like this is the most animated I've been on camera. And I'm really happy about, how good this short video is. Like, easily the best part to me is, when I'm listing off the games on my shelf. And, as I'm pulling up the games, you can see the games that I'm listing slowly build up in the corner. Like, honestly, because it's so short, I can't really pull moments out of it. You just gotta go watch the video for yourself because it's a solid video. And honestly, I think I should do more skit stuff like this. He has yet to tap into the well of which dreams are cultivated and then flourish into the eyes of children, which then open them up to the wonders and the glory that the physical world allows. In short, he has not written Sonic fanfiction like I have. Yes, my dear Love Muffins, I wrote Sonic fanfiction. And no, I'm not ashamed to admit that. And last but certainly not least is the Cringing at my fanfiction video. The last video I made in 2020, which was actually meant to be for my birthday. Because, I wanted to do this celebration of, me. Because, I like me. But, when I came home from the summer, I completely forgot to pack my hard drive, which had the files for this video. So I ended up forgetting about it until a few weeks before I uploaded it. Now, originally, this is going to be a more lighthearted take. But, then I decided to twist it around and make it more elegant. Like the intro and outro were all reshot. Everything else was pretty much kept the same. And again, this was another whim, and I decided to release it on Christmas Day because I didn't have anything else. The LGS I wanted to release then needed a lot more time to cook, and I couldn't think of any Christian-themed videos to make that, you know, without rushing it, and I don't ever want to rush those type of videos. So I thought, hey, let's just do something a little more funny. And yes, this is definitely one of the silliest videos I've ever made. You can tell by what, like, I don't need to tell you that. Look at this. I'm using my washing machine as a prop. I'm reading my fanfic that I made in the 6th grade, and I'm acting it out, down to me having my shirt off with a tie to portray a character in it. It was definitely a huge step out of my comfort zone. And honestly, I think it's a really good video. I would love to do a sequel to this. I feel like I just need to refine it a little bit, but I definitely want to do more. I want to continue reading my fanfiction, if that makes sense. And just like that, we're done. Now again, I did this because, you know, I wanted this to be not only a time for me to reflect on my content so I can know where I want to take my content in the future, but I feel like it's also fun because if I don't enjoy my content, how can I expect you to enjoy it, you know? And I feel like this was just a great way for me to really sit back and for me to realize, hey, maybe don't be so hard on yourself. Like, I should be critical of myself and I should, you know, continue to refine things, but I shouldn't always be down on myself and think that I make videos that are terrible. I think I make some pretty good videos. And I pray that one day I could make videos that'll be able to reach out to more people and that more people can be able to experience this. Not because I think I'm so great and so amazing and awesome, but because I just like sharing things that I like with other people, you know? Anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun doing it. Comment below what your favorite video from me is. It doesn't even have to be from this year. Just what was you know, your favorite video that I made. And of course, if you're new here and you haven't already, subscribe and become a love muffin today. But until next time, I'm the LovelessGamer, and I believe that every game deserves a little love. See you guys next time.